Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here, returning to you for this end of the month video that I usually do. I think I've been doing this best and worst songs thing that I've been doing at the end of each month for about a year now. And so far it's been making some solid progress. But overall, we're going to talk about the best and worst songs of April 2025 that I'm going to discuss about. I'm going to talk about the best section first, then talk about the worst after. But overall, let's dive right into what I usually do each and every month. So, hopefully, you enjoy my list and which ones I deem to be on the best and the worst. So, get started with number 21 with Linkin Park Unshatter. Now, this song was pretty good, but I don't know. This one wasn't one of my favorites. Wasn't as good as Up From the Bottom, even though Up From the Bottom did win March 2025 uh, for Best and Worst Songs of that month, which congratulations to Linkin Park for that one. But for this month, they didn't clearly win it, but they're at the top tier of the list. But not that it's a terrible spot, it's at the very top, basically. But overall, I think Emily Armstrong's vocals sound alright in this, and her screams are solid, but mostly Mike Shinoda I don't know, he's kind of screwing up the song a little with his rapping. Kind of generic rapping that I don't know if I'm on board with. But other than that, it's a good song. Definitely worth checking out to see what you think of it. And that number 21 was Linkin Park with Unshatter. Number 20 is Green Day with Smash It Like Belushi. Sorry, this cat was doing something. I don't know what he was doing. But overall, one of my cats. Overall, Green Day Smash It Like Belushi is another one that I think I'm on the fence with, but I still enjoy it. I just don't enjoy it enough to come back to it a lot. It's not one of my top favorite tracks, but it is in the best section because it is pretty good for how it sounds. Billy Joe sounds good with his vocals in this, so I'll give him credit where it's due. Solid single, and something that's going to be on the deluxe edition of Saviors. I don't know when that's coming out, but I'll have to go look into it. But other than that, that's my number 20 pick. Number 19 is Smash Into Pieces with Paradise featuring Liz Reed. Nice track. I mean, this track is a bit experimental and electronic-y in a way, but it's not terrible for how it sounds. So I dig it for how it is, but most of the track kind of is a little overproduced in its own way, but it sounds nice vocally from Chris and Elise. So I do dig this track for how it was. It's a song that came out about a week ago, but it is solid for what it sounds like. Number 18 is Rise Against with Prize Fighter. Good track. I think this was a much more improvement than Nod. Nod was on my worst songs of January 2025, and that is a shame because I think Rise Against does have the potential to put out good material, but they squandered with the first single, and that wasn't a good thing. Prize Fighter sounded a little better, and even though it's not top tier Rise Against, it's still an improvement. So I'll give them praise on this one. They at least made it at the top tier of my list in the top 20, but overall, the upper section, good song. And I think Tim McIlrath, I believe is how you pronounce it. I don't know. His vocals were pretty strong in this, even though they sounded like most of these new singles, in my opinion, for Rise Against, they sound like they're live versions of tracks that I'm not sure how I feel about them. They're good, but they're just not great. Prize Fighter was a step up from Nod, but Nod was just The mixing was horrible for that track. So that's my number 18 pick. Number 17 is Keith Wallen with Us Against the World. A solid release from Keith Wallen. I don't think it's like one of the best songs. It's because his vocals do sound good. The video was kind of weird and like, what the fuck, kind of cringe. Like, okay, so the video shows them as vampires, alright. Now, I was not surprised, but I was not blown away by the music video. It was a solid music video, but not one of the best. Choreographic wise, it's just average, B average. But Keith Wallen does have a good voice. I'll give him credit where it's due. But this track kind of was pretty good, but played it on the safe side. So you can go check out my track review if you have not seen it. And I put it at number 17. Number 16 is Hailstorm with Darkness Always Wins. Solid track, but not one of my personal favorites that I enjoyed this month. But it's got a nice melody, and the drum work and guitar work when it kicks in to the track gets better. The song does progress in a much better way. And Lzzy Hale's vocals sound really good. I'll give her credit, but there was a cringe part where she was singing a little cringy at the beginning in the intro of the track, and I wasn't pleased with that. But other than that, the track progressed, it got better, and I can respect Hailstorm for at least trying to put an effort into making a good track, so props to them. Number 15 is Hot Milk with Swallow This. This one wasn't as good as 90 Seconds to Midnight. It's strong, but it's like top 15 kind of strong. It's still a pretty good track. It's just not one of my favorites. I just think the vocals are a little all over the place in this one. But the screams are pretty strong. And I'm sorry about my yawning. I'm just exhausted for some odd reason. A lot of health issues right now. I'm just trying to get shit back in order, basically, with how I'm going to do for myself. But just some health issues. It's like I get really tired and all that lately, and just energy wise is like downhill, down the drain. But overall, to go back on topic, Hot Milk Swallow This. It's a pretty strong track, but I just think with how the lead singer, the female vocalist, is singing it, I'm not sure. It sounds good, and there is electronics in this track. And this track was pretty wild, and in a good way, but just not like in the top 10. But still a good track. Number 14 is The Devil Wears Prada with For You. Very sad song to struggle with loss, basically. They're kind of, whatchamacallit, making a song dedicated to someone that passed away, which I'm sorry for you guys' loss, whoever that was, or maybe, I don't know, but honestly, my condolences, and this song was really something to remember, and a good track for sure. Mike Ranika's scream at the bridge part was pretty strong, and Jeremy's singing was pretty strong too. So I really enjoyed how this track sounded overall. So good track. Number 13 is Daughtry with The Day I Die. Pretty good song for sure. I was really impressed with this one. This had to be in the top 15. And I was really impressed with Chris Daughtry's vocals in this one. I mean, it wasn't one of my favorite tracks, but it still was almost close to being in the top 10. But still strong for how it is. I think Chris Daughtry's vocals sound amazing in this. And execution-wise, this track pulled it off in a good way. So, dig it. Number 12 is Fozzy with Fall in Line. Good track for sure. Had to be in close to the top 11. I think Chris Jericho's vocals sound pretty strong in this, and execution wise, I think this track pulled it off for what it was going for with the melody, with how the guitars was sounding, and execution wise, this track elevated itself and progressed even further. The chorus a little repetitious, but not to the point where I really hate it. So I really enjoyed this song. So, good track. Number 11 is Dayseeker with Pale Moonlight. A pretty nice melodic song, but then gets heavy in the bridge part. And I really enjoyed Rory Rodriguez's screaming in the bridge. So I was really impressed with this one. And I was impressed with how they came back with a pretty strong single for this one. Even though I know they released Replica last year, word salad, basically. But overall, it had to be at the lowest part of the top 15, close to the top 10. It was not worthy to be in the top 10, but you're going to find out who I deem to be in the top 10. And it starts in just a second. But overall, Dayseeker, Pale Moonlight, definitely go check this track out. It came out last week, and it's worthy to be at least close to your top 10 or so. For me, it was number 11, but it was close to top 10. Number 10 is Bush with 60 Ways to Forget People. Good track. Really enjoyed Gavin Rossdale singing in this one. Can't wait for the new album I Beat Loneliness coming out July 18th, so pretty soon. But overall, I think with this track, melodic but still strong in its own way. Melodic hard rock stuff, but it does sound good. So, really dig this track. Number 9 is Turnstile with Never Enough. Pretty strong song for how it is. I really enjoyed how the lead singer was singing this track. And execution-wise, I think this track really pulled it off for what it was going for. So, I'm really impressed, to say the least, that I think Turnstile is going to drop a good record this time around on June 6th. It is a more melodic song, Never Enough is, and more mellow paced, and does have some good melodic rock sound to it. But it's definitely something I could really get on board with. The outro to the track is like a cliffhanger to the next song that is apparently on the record. But overall, can't wait to see how the rest of the record, Never Enough, turns out to be. But overall, that's my number 9 pick. Number 8 is Sleep Theory with 3. Pretty strong track. It was worthy to be in the top 10. It was one of my favorites of April 2025. I wish I could have been in the top 5, but it's still a definite hard-hitting track, and overall I think the lead singer sounded good vocally, even with the screams, and the backing vocals sounded strong. Like I said, I'm still new to Sleep Theory, but I can, once I do the Afterglow album review on May 16th, in the next 2 weeks from now, I'll definitely have their names by then. The lead singer and the backing vocal is singing and screaming. So overall, 3 was a strong track. I like the music video too, by the way, where they're in like a Kansas, Oklahoma kind of landscape, and basically there's like tornadoes and all that coming down, and it's like everything's blowing away. So it's almost as cool as the Architect's Black Hole music video, even though that's still one of the best music videos choreographed this year, which was definitely a round of applause for Architects, and whoever choreographed that video did very fucking well. So overall, Sleep Theory 3 still had a strong music video and a pretty interesting choreographed music video too. So overall, that's my number 8 pick. Number 7 is Bury Tomorrow with Forever the Night. Strong single for sure. Really enjoyed this one. I think Bury Tomorrow pulled off a really strong single, and I know they have a album coming out with Will You Haunt Me with that same Patience, dropping May 16th, so in the next 2 weeks. So close to 2 weeks from now. It's getting close to it being released. But overall, I still enjoyed Bury Tomorrow, Forever the Night, and I believe this is going to be the last single they drop, because I know they've been dropping singles like Candy, and I think their album's only 11 or 12 songs in, and somewhere around there, but it's not a lot of tracks, I can tell you that much. And I think they're spoiling a bit of the record a little too much, but they announced their first single back in May last year, so Villain Arc, and then What If I Burn months later, 6 months later, and then we got Let Go in July, and then I think there was one more single in March, and then now another single. So overall, Bury Tomorrow did drop a strong single. Number 6 is Fit for a King, No Tomorrow. Good song for sure. One of my favorites of April 2025. Ryan Kirby's screaming potential is good, and his regular singing melodic vocals sound pretty strong. Really enjoyed the clean vocals on this track too. And as the track progresses, I think the ending to the track is my favorite aspect, where Ryan Kirby lets it all out with his singing and screaming. So, pretty strong track, and was almost worthy to be in the top 5. So now we're going to talk about the top 5, starting with Sleep Token Caramel at number 5. Pretty good song. I really enjoyed this one. Vessel's vocals sound really strong in this. This track can go from really soft and pop-friendly related, pop-infused related, to very metal and heavy metal kind of stuff and metalcore kind of stuff with the screaming overall. But from what I listened to, Sleep Token blends their genres very well, and I really enjoyed this track for sure. I mean, not everyone's gonna like Sleep Token, but they got a big following fan base, and I tried playing a song Damocles for my mom, and she didn't like it. So I was like, ah, shit. Like, okay, I thought you'd like it, but alright. But overall, Sleep Token Caramel, strong track, and was one of my favorites of April 2025. Now, number 4 is Sleep Token Damocles. Damocles is a strong track for sure. I like the melody overall. It definitely sounds very pop infused and rock related too at times, but it blends well with the genres for sure. So I really appreciated that aspect about this track, and a great song for sure. Nice melody, very upbeat melody for sure, that I can really get on board with, and I definitely had to put this in the top 5. And now at number 3, we got Wolves at the Gate, Law of the Wasteland. Strong song for sure. Really enjoyed the lead singer's screaming potential in this track. This track goes heavy as fuck. This is the 3rd single off their album Wasteland, dropping May 30th of this year, so in the next 4 weeks. But overall, I think Wolves at the Gate put out a great single too, as well. And I really enjoyed this track, so that's my number 3 pick. Number 2 is Baby Metal from Made to You featuring Poppy. Great song for sure. It's kawaii metal, but it sounds really good from what I listened to. So I really enjoyed um, the vocals overall. Sui Metal's vocals sound really strong, and execution-wise, Poppy's screaming potential is pretty aggressive in this one, and I really enjoyed how this track was sounding. So it had to be the runner-up for Best Song of April 2025, but overall, I can really get on board with this one, and can't wait for the new album. Unfortunately, the new album got delayed to June 27th for Metal Fourth, um, which I can understand why, because I think they needed more time to work on it, which is totally understandable because I think they were trying to rush it for June 13th, but I guess they couldn't meet that expectation of it coming out then. So, start of summer or late June is when it's coming out, so June 27th. It's kind of late June, but overall, had to be the runner up for this month's Best Songs of April 2025. And now, number 1, drum roll please. Slaughter to Prevail, Russian Grizzly in America. Great single. This is one of the best songs of April 2025. I may not like the decisions and the choices Alex Terrible does when he wants to associate himself with Ronnie Radke. That's his personal business. I'll still be cool with the guy, even if I meet him in person. But it doesn't mean I'm gonna agree with your choices. But hey, you do you, I guess. Other than that, if you look at it in a way where you can respect the artist, even if you don't like the choices they make, you can still respect their music for how it sounds. So I can separate the art from the artist with Slaughter to Prevail. Slaughter to Prevail is a great metalcore, deathcore band that I can personally get on board with. Alex Terrible's screaming potential is great, and this is like one of the heaviest tracks. It has great chunky breakdowns that I can get on board with, and this track goes fucking heavy for sure. The screams prolong all the way to the end of the track. When it hits the bridge part of the song, it starts going into a new infused uh, melody and breakdown that I can really get on board with. So this track definitely slaps, meaning it rocks for sure. One of the best tracks of April 2025 and had to be the winner for Best Song of April 2025. And that's going to be it for the best section of Best Songs, Best and Worst Songs of April 2025. But now we're going to get to the worst section, where there's only 2 songs. There's only 2 songs I deem to be in the worst section. Starting with number 2, Blue October, Hot Stuff. It was contender for being bad, but it's at the top list, but it's still not a good track. Either way, I think Justin Ferdensfeld, his vocals sound really crappy in this. It's just not sounding good mixing wise, and this track can literally go fuck itself. It is one of the worst tracks, and I believe going to be on a new Spinning the Truth Around Part 3 release whenever that comes out. They haven't put it out yet, but I think they're going to put something out this year, later this year. But overall, Blue October, Hot Stuff at number 20, or number 2, I meant to say. I'm getting my numbers mixed up. Sorry about that. And finally, number 1 is Puddle of Mudd, Butamus. One of the worst tracks of April 2025. I mean, there was another Tom MacDonald song, but I didn't care to listen to it. I was like, fuck this guy and fuck his music. I think he spreads too much conservative agenda, in my opinion, but hey, I don't care as long as you don't go too extreme with it, because he goes very extreme with it, and I just don't really give a fuck. But overall, Puddle of Mud Butamus, strong song for how it sounds. Well, bad song for how it sounds. I don't know why I said strong song. I am so sorry about that. My brain is like, it's just, I've been so stressed lately for some things that I've been dealing with. So basically, it's not a strong song. Wes Scantlin's vocals are crap in this track. And this track can literally suck a dick. Because Wes Scantlin can go fuck himself. He's not a good person. He's done some shitty stuff lately. And he's been in and out of jail many times. And it's like, dude, don't you ever learn from your fuck-ups? So, other than that, Puddle of Mud Butamus is a terrible song. Sorry if I said it was a strong track. My brain is kind of like being crazy right now. I don't know, I'm just, like I said, I've been a little under pressure lately for trying to go for my license and all that, and it's just, there were some things that happened today that I was not impressed with. But other than that, I'm okay now. I'm just trying to make sure that things get back in order. I know what I want to do, and I'm going to accomplish it. But other than that, Puddle of Mud Butamus, sorry if I basically said it was a strong track. Just didn't properly use my words right. But overall, brain fog, basically. I thought it was the best song, but no, it's not. So, yeah. Puddle of Mud Butamus is a terrible song and one of the worst songs of April 2025. And it's going to be on their new Kiss the Machine album coming out Friday, May 2nd. Which I could give two fucks about that record. I'll listen to it, but I know it's going to be one of the worst records. As well as Eubiticus was. So, yeah, that's going to be it for the best and worst songs of April 2025. Hope you enjoyed this best and worst songs of April 2025 video. I did the best I could to make it as good as possible. I'm sorry for my yawning and saying some things. Like missaying some things and messing up with what I'm trying to say. It's been a stressful week. I've had to make some choices and had to try to go for this learner's permit, and there's a lot of studying you gotta do for the written exam. And they ask you some questions that were never on the practice test. And it pissed me off that I tried it and it didn't work out. So I'll have to keep trying. But I know I can do it. I just gotta really pay attention and study for that shit. But other than that, best and worst songs of April 2025. Let me know in the comment section below what your best songs and your worst songs of April 2025 are. And definitely subscribe to the channel. It helps the channel grow each day. And I appreciate you guys' support each and every day. And with that being said, I'm going to hop off this video. Thanks for watching this special video.